swallowed eyes, blue eyes,
Split lips.
lips, faces like that, really of the beatings. Some of the prisoners, they get like lost their teeth. So they took photos and they give us like now something like a bracelet, a green bracelet with these photos, IC numbers. Now they give me the number 441. This is your new ID. This is the new you now.
From that moment on, you were known as 441.
Yes, 441. Basically
For the next 14 years.
until now.
Until now.
So, like, because you have Mansoor and there is another guy called 441. And trust me, you don't want to talk like I don't want to activate this guy.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. So basically, I become just a number now. And a new world, a new, I don't know, maybe a new dimension of life, I would say that. So when we arrived at Guantanamo as prisoners, we had no shared life before that. We didn't know each other, no names, no nationalities, nothing. And why I'm telling you this? Because this is an important detail. So the first thing when I look at the people, the brothers, I call them, around me, I could see only those bruises in those faces, faces, swallow eyes, blue eyes, split lips, like some of them like broken teeth. And we weren't allowed to talk. We weren't allowed to stand. We weren't allowed to nothing. The guard just shouting at you. Shut up! Don't talk! Look down! Don't look at me! It was like, and, like as someone, I was trying to figure out what's going on there. So, and when I tried to sleep, someone came and he was banging on the fence, because the cages was rose chain link fences, literally cages, just
chain link
fences. Yes, like the cages were like cement. On each, there's like 4. They call them CTs. Each CTs has
CT like as an CT. Like,
no.
CT
it's like bigger blocks.
Oh, okay.
Each blocks has 6 big cages. Each cage divide into 10 cages.
Okay.
So they call them CT. CT1 has like 60 cage.
Okay.
So the big block have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and the floor cement, and there was only ceilings, doesn't shade you from water, rain or sun or anything.
So no ceilings.
There was ceilings, but
it was chain.
A chain.
Yeah. It was a fence. Ceiling. So
exactly, it's like a cage. Later on, they put some kind of wood, but because when we arrived, they were building they were still building the camp, basically camp X-ray. It's the first camp. That camp X-ray was basically before was Haitian. They use it to house Haitian refugees.
Okay.
Then they add extra blocks. So when I look at those men, I mean, like, so the guards used every 10 minutes would come bang on the fence and wake you up to reorganize the stuff that they give you. They call it like water bucket, shit bucket, sandals, soap, and you have to keep switch these. The first time I did
switching these,
like reorganize them. For example, you have the water bucket, shit bucket, and you have the soap. Then you have for example, the sandals.
Or the flip-flops.
Flip-flops, basically.
Okay.
Then they will tell you, no, start now with the flip-flops.
Oh, so they give you the way you have to organize those.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
every 30 minutes, you have to keep
Every half an hour.
every half an hour. They will ask you to keep reorganize them in a certain way. They have a paper, and they tell you do this, do this, do this. So the first time I did it, the second time I said no, I'm not doing it, because it didn't make sense, to me. Like, why I'm doing this? Why you wake me up? My brother
And this is during the night.
during the night. So my brother, like the Danish guy, like he was older than me, was like in his 30s. He said, Mansoor, please do it, or they beat you. I said, I don't care. The guard told me, I just went to sleep. 5 minutes, ERF team came again, immediate reaction force, and I got beating. So what I did, when they came the third time, I threw them away. I threw everything out. So when they came third time, they came and they put me in it. They shackled my hand and my leg behind me, and they left me this until morning. So I said, I swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will never do it. For me, it didn't make any sense. Also, the thing I have seen at the black side, compared to that's nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, you get treated in the worst way. What they did now is nothing. Like, I'm not going to do it. So, and I wasn't like brave. I was like a tribe man who just stubborn, and just the way it is. Respect me, I respect you. Like, respect for respect, disrespect for disrespect. That's it. So that's kind of spark. At that time, I didn't know what. It was a spark of resistance. So the other brother did the same as I did. And they beat him really bad. He was like, they broke his head, bleeding. So my brother thought I was brave. I wasn't, because when someone put you in worse situation and put you in that, was nothing compared to that. So they kept that way, rotating, and, serving really little food. And now we started whispering to each other, people close to you. My neighbor was Danish, Afghani, Pakistani, Chad, Saudi Arabia, Turkish, Tajikistan, and I don't know how many countries. So we started asking each other about, what's your name? Where are you from? What's your story? And people are afraid to tell a story because we don't know each other. There is no trust here. So it's a new world. For me, everyone in orange suit, everyone is good. Everyone in the military suit, bad. I mean, this is how you visual, because those people hurt you. People have done unspoken things to you. This is now how you start judging people. And they kept bringing people. There was, at the same time, the army people were workers, American soldiers were building new blocks. And whenever there is a new people arrived, or a new detainees or prisoners arrive, it's like state emergency in the camp. Again, you cannot stand, you cannot talk, you cannot even move. You sit in the floor just like that. If you try to stand or to talk, it's like extreme force, beating always. We spent like that for almost like a month. And intense interrogation started.
That's when intense interrogation started.
Yeah, when you arrived first, you are going at the beginning, and the very first, there was no, the interrogation started later in Camp X-ray. But what they did later, when you arrive from the airplane, process station, immediately to the interrogation room. So interrogation was really intense. FBI, CIA, MI, military intelligence, Homeland Security, NSA, all kind of teams. And there was no any kind of coordination between those agencies. Different teams, different interrogators treat you differently. Some of them nice, some of them really bad. Some of them beat you, some of them... You spent all your day in the interrogation rooms. Again, questions about Osama bin Laden, about Mullah Muhammad Umar, about the dirty bomb, about the nuclear bomb, about the new attack, about sleeper cells, about all kind of bullshit. So my profile was this Adil. And every time I'm not that person. Okay, they changed the name, but they tell us about how you attack the Nairobi and Dar es Salaam in Africa. Tell us about the money laundering. And when you talk to them, everyone look at you as a well-trained hardened Al-Qaeda general. And everyone like, this is the guy we need. They had no names, no profiles, no photos of the men they had. What the CIA did, they bought these people and they just shipped them to Guantanamo, and they thought, the government, they said, we're going to send our best interrogators to sort these files. So now let us just pause here. Why Guantanamo was it chosen, that place? You know, everything wasn't just random. Everything was planned, and with consultation with the, like, especially Americans, like, as I told you, they were organized. They have consultation teams, wherever. So Guantanamo was a chosen place. When it said Guantanamo as a military prison, it's a military prison inside the military base. So
In Cuba.
in Cuba, it was created outside of the justice system, outside of our humanity, outside of any kind of law. American Constitution doesn't apply. Geneva Convention doesn't apply. Cuban law doesn't apply. Animal law doesn't apply. Devil's law doesn't apply. Nothing applied at Guantanamo. So when we arrived at Guantanamo, we didn't know where we were, and we tried to figure out the first time, like, where should I pray? Because when we pray as Muslims, we face Mecca.
Yes, of course, east.
Yes, basically. At that place, like,
You have no idea where east is.
you have no idea, nothing. You feel like there is only hills. At the same time, you cannot see the sky, the stars, nothing, because bright lights. And we start debating from the very first moment. Someone said we are in Bahrain. Some said in Oman. Some in Oman. Someone read in the, like, there was, like, the Bibles for the cages made in India. They said we are in India.
Oh, so the wires in the cages, they said made in India. Okay.
So basically, and like,
you had no idea where
we
you are.
had no idea. So when we pray, some of us prayed that direction, some of that direction, like, because now you have to use your best way to figure out how to where to pray. So
But the sun direction, you haven't seen the sun?
I mean, this is one of the things, like, you cannot determine the direction by the sun too.
Okay.
So basically, like, some of them, okay, because you can see between the east and west where you pray. But again, it depends on your location where because, for example, in the north, in the south, where are you? The location that can determine the sun movement.
Okay, okay.
So we spent that way just because it was, as I told you, a classified place, prison. Nobody knows about it. We spent that 3 months until a new group, and then until they moved us into a new camp called Camp Delta. They built a new camp made of shipping containers.
Okay, yeah.
So they built this prison. Before we jump to that, this is how we figure when Guantanamo, when a new group arrived, these men were when we brought to Guantanamo, they were free. Then they got arrested. Then they said, guys, you're in a place called Guantanamo in Cuba. Okay, well, Cuba, huh? So when we told the first time we told the interrogators and the guards we were in Cuba, who told you? Like, they were like, it is like something big. So basically, when I remember one of the brother went to the interrogators and he told them, we are in Cuba. We are in Guantanamo, exactly, in your Navy base. And that's something big to tell to your interrogators. Like, how do you know that? The guard were called for interrogations. Like, when the guard, because they have meetings, like they have like before they come to work in the camp and after they leave, who told the prisoners, who told the prison they were in Cuba? And that lasted for weeks until we told them, like, the men you brought from, again, the new groups.